Hello, hello, you talented stars and starlets. It's your stage mom here, Chantele Francis, and this channel is it's to inspire creatives, artists, performers, all those in the entertainment industry into manifesting the career and lives of their dreams. And obviously, if you are stumbling onto this video, then there's definitely going to be a message in here for you. So make sure you subscribe down below, hit that like button, and ring that bell so you can get updates daily from me. So today is Motivation Monday, and I'm feeling like it should be, like the motivation should be words of wisdom. So I was looking around at different quotes that inspired me and got me motivated. And I found one by Sir Winston Churchill. And so the quote is, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." And I found that to be, I could say that would be a quote that I do my best to live my life by. I always am like, if something negative happens, I always try to look at the bright side, find the silver lining, find the opportunity, find how this seemingly, pitfall is going to be, could be transformed and shifted into, the catalyst for something amazing. A lot of people that have gone through really, really tough times, when they come out on the other side, they say that this tough time actually was the spark of them shifting everything and changing everything, and that it was the catalyst, it was the seed that allowed them to make these huge and amazing transformations. So I always try to look at anything unfortunate or seemingly unfortunate as the catalyst of something amazing, so that these potentially negative things aren't happening in vain. They are actually become an opportunity for growth, for a new idea, for solving a problem. Sometimes amazing ideas come out of a need, a necessity, a problem, a lack, a void in something in, say, society. There's a void. Someone sees this as a problem, and they use this problem as like a big magnifying glass as to, okay, if this is a problem, then that is an opportunity for me to solve this problem, for me to fill that void, for me to create the answer. And so what I would like you guys to do, and this is what I'm going to do myself, is think of every time something comes up that you feel that might be a problem or an obstacle, think of yourself as a solution maker and look and see, what can I do with this information? Like finding something to be a problem or there being a void is like it's an opportunity. Inventors look at this as like a money-making idea. Like, this is okay, so there's a problem, I can create something to fix this problem. And so a lot of inventors, they find this to be really exciting when they find that there is a lack or a void in something. Or even if we look at the time that we're in right now, we're all in self-isolation, and everything has had to shift and everything has had to change. How we've done everything up until now isn't working, and we could moan and say how unfortunate we are. And of course there's a lot of things that are happening with people being sick and losing their lives, and I understand that it's a can be very sad time for many people. But if we look also at all the good that is coming out of it, we're being more proactive with how concerned we are about our health, and washing our hands for 20 seconds, counting happy birthday twice, and we are making sure that we are keeping safe distance and being aware and mindful of the other. Right now we're very considerate of like making sure not to come into contact with other people, because we don't want them to get sick, and they don't want us to get sick. So that is something that's positive that's coming out of this. The fact that everybody is slowed down and is in their own homes, they're spending more time with their family, they're learning things about each other more. They are taking the opportunity to create new creative ideas and ventures and new ideas, and exercising and changing their life patterns. Like, a lot of really amazing things are happening in this time that we're having, where there is struggle or angst or uncertainty. Like this can be used partially as an opportunity for many people to shift, change, grow, invent something new, and completely morph into a new reality and a new people inhabiting this reality. One thing that I thought was a really interesting positive change is, even for myself, I received a commercial audition. No problem. I've done many self-tapes on my own. And when I was looking at the breakdown, it said that we would be filming this commercial on our own. So they wanted to know what devices that we had, what to use, what kind of light sources, and they would kind of direct us into setting up this commercial or our segment of this commercial, and we'd be filming it while in isolation. Now, not that this is, an ideal circumstance for the whole industry on a whole, but the people of this marketing company didn't allow being self-quarantined to prevent getting their vision across, to prevent this commercial being made, to prevent people getting work, to prevent people still auditioning. Like everything, yes, it stopped, but now people are looking for creative ways to move through it, to move past it, to fix these problems, or to allow these problems not to be an obstacle anymore, to make them be an opportunity for change. And so I thought that was really innovative. I was pretty impressed by it. And I find it's going to be really interesting to see how the industry changes from this point forward, because there's going to be so much innovation in how people are able to gather content for their projects, and maybe even how projects are presented now. It's going to change. Like maybe now TV shows, people are just going to do their segments from home, or maybe a certain type of TV show, but who knows how long we're going to be self-quarantined, and maybe this is going to be the direction that how we're going to tell stories, is people are going to be doing them from their own home and figuring out a way to tell the story that the director wants, and they help you set up the shot. And I don't know, it sounds pretty interesting and pretty cool and something new, and maybe it's something that I'm going to figure out and try and do. Who knows? But just to go back to this quote, so the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Sir Winston Churchill. And so a lot of people also will be like, well, I'm just being realistic. And I totally understand the realistic perspective. I get it. I get it. But in being realistic, it kind of puts a stop. It puts a halt to creative possibility. It puts a halt on potential. It puts a halt on, who knows, the other side, well, I said potential already, but the potential, it's like, it's the possibility that gets halted by being realistic, because realistic is things that have already happened and already have proven to have occurred. So they have occurred, but people don't realize things can happen until they are created. A lot of books use the example of people running in races, and I don't know, the 4-minute mile, or however long it takes to run a mile. I'm sorry, I do not know these terms. But so I think it's the 4-minute mile, and nobody thought that it was possible for anybody to run the 4-minute mile until somebody ran the 4-minute mile. So the realist would be like, nobody can do it. It's not possible. 4 minutes is the fastest you can run this mile. But then someone had use this as a barrier and a block, and it's like, I am going to exceed that barrier and block, and that allows for expansion, that allows for growth, that allows for people to see more and expect more, and their visions expand and grow. So yes, I understand why we can be realistic about situations, but I also invite you to, whenever you become realistic about a certain situation, maybe see why you have that limitation, and push yourself a little bit. See what would happen if you didn't have that perspective, and what would someone that didn't have that perspective, what would they do, and how would they fix this problem, or how would they solve this, this situation that we're in? What could you do to change? And so that is what I am inviting every single one of you to do this week, is to take a look of any time that you put maybe a realistic restraint on something, or when you find you're being pessimistic, or you're just being realistic. Whenever you're being realistic, look at that as an opportunity to see where you can shift, change, and grow, and see if you can be optimistic and find a new solution, a new idea, a new way of looking at this from a different angle to see more potential in possibility. If that makes any sense, but I'm going to give it a try, because I definitely try to work on seeing the silver lining. But there's obviously times, like even me saying this right now is a time where I can be realistic, and I've had situations proven a certain way, so I can take that as my truth and take that as my belief. But if I challenge that truth and that belief and that realism that I've developed, then what's next? What else can happen when I open that box and allow for more possibility to come into my life, and into my creativity, into my vision, into just my thoughts, like to be able to see more than what we have learned up until now. That's really interesting, and I think it's really powerful. And I think as creative artists, it's really powerful to be able to see outside of what we know to be true, to see more, to see expansion, to see growth, to see possibility. Like that is, I think, one of the jobs of human beings, but a job of an artist is to be able to see what others are too realistic to see outside that box, to allow ourselves to be visionaries, to be imaginative, to see potential and possibility in where there's none. So I invite for you to give that a try. Let me know in the comments below what where you might be having some realistic blocks, and maybe if you have any sort of ideas as to how you want to shift through them, or resolve in them. I'm really interested to hear them. I kind of like this idea of Motivation Monday now, to have some quotes that we kind of look at and see if we can take them in as our own mantra. And also tell me what your mantra is. What is your personal mantra? What do you stand for? What do you live by? Right now, this one suits me right now, but next week I'm probably going to have another one that I resonate with. But tell me what your mantra is also in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, ring that bell so you can get notified daily when I leave my next new video. I hope that this video has served you well, and I will see you in the spotlight. Take care.